Well, well, well. Some of you might be asking, Micah, why are you starting the stream with the theme to Spark Mandrill instead of something Final Fantasy oriented? Because I forgot. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, and fuck, I've got nothing.
Welcome to Micah and the Hatman. Hopefully we'll have something. So, let's go ahead and get started. Hatman does not have a pick of the week again.
Nope. Busy.
Yes.
Forever busy.
Because this is the part of the comic creation process where Hatman gets to be busy. And I'm going to be busy for the next 2 months anyway, but it goes without saying that Hatman's got a bunch of stuff to ship out. So he can get you guys your copies of 3 Nights. So, let's go ahead and start with picks of the week then. My pick of the week is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have wanted to replay this for a while now, and I just hadn't taken the time. The reason that I waited so long is I had my... so it says in there PS4 for a reason, guys. Because somebody's asking me about PS5. I do not have the money for a PS5. If someone wants to buy me a PS5, that's awesome. But it's probably not going to happen. I played this on a PS4 Pro. So, I've been wanting to replay this for a while, because when I first played it, I bought it, I pre-ordered this game. I have the collector's edition. I am a big fan of Final Fantasy VII's story. Oddly enough, I've only beaten the original game twice, as compared to a lot of other gamers out there. Like the Final Fantasy I have beaten the most is actually 8. Which we're actually doing a replay of that on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BigMicahC. So check that out. Probably not going to do it tonight, but we'll probably return to streaming there Monday evening after Mecha Mondays on the Discord channel, probably around 9 o'clock. So, that is what I'm going to try to stream from now on, is around 9 o'clock. Try to do it Monday through Wednesday, and then if I feel like doing it during the weekend, if I have time for it, then those would be kind of like my wild card days, you know. Holy Ninja Joe throws in a buck and says, just reminding everyone that any lag that happens in the stream is on YouTube's end. Mike and Hatman are considering moving to Twitch. Further details was at the beginning of the Politics podcast. Exactly. So yeah, if you guys experience lag, just please hit the refresh button. If anybody's complaining about lag, if the mods could just remind them when it comes up to go ahead and just hit refresh the stream. If there are continued problems, we will be migrating for sure. Surprisingly, this week has not been that bad. So, regardless, Final Fantasy VII Remake for me was my game of the year last year. I still maintain it was the best game last year. And yes, I am fully aware that Doom Eternal came out last year. I love Doom Eternal too. I liked this one a lot more, believe it or not. This particular game really caught me off guard with the level of love that went into it. But on top of that, it actually being a full-on remake, in the sense that they are taking things and doing them a little bit differently than last time, instead of just making it a super HD awesome graphics version of the original game. In a sense, it's a kind of a deconstruction of a remake concept. Because at the end of the day, what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to turn this game, Final Fantasy VII, into a trilogy. Where the first game is Midgar, the second game is a bit more open world, And the third game would probably keep that open world stuff, but be the wrap up with Sephiroth, kind of like the original game was 3 discs, you know. And I'm gonna have to minimize the chat so I don't start chewing people out. I don't care if you think this game is overrated. If you don't like me talking about Final Fantasy VII, you can come back in 10 minutes when I'm done. When it comes right down to it, what I found that was the most interesting about this particular bit was the fact that they play with the term remake. What that exactly entails. What is it to remake a video game? What does it mean? Like, do you have to stick by the original story, or can a remake be something more complex than that? Can a remake be something a little bit more intriguing than that? And that is something that I really enjoyed about it. I liked the concept of the whispers, or the time jannies, as some people now call them. And by the way, the time janny memes are fucking hilarious. One of them actually is that I saw was of Geese Howard about to kick Terry Bogard off of the roof in the first Fatal Fury game. Then the time jannies come in and throw Geese out instead. So I found that one was probably my favorite one that like Xavier sent me. But in essence, what this game is it's a sequel to the original, in a sense, on top of being a remake of the original. And it's really interesting that something can be two things at once like this. The other thing that I really love about it is that they actually managed to take, in my opinion, two of the weaker characters of the original game and actually make them very compelling very early on and make them interesting early on in Barrett and Aerith. Or Aerith, rather. Barrett, to me, like, he always felt in the original game that once you get past Corel and his story, there's nothing left for the character. He's just there, you know, and he doesn't really serve much of a purpose until near the end of the game. Which sucks, because it's like he's the leader of Avalanche, or at least their cell. Like, he should have a little bit more to him than that. And he was just kind of the big black guy that yelled about everything. In this, there's a lot more to him, because in modern graphics, you can do a lot more to communicate character. Specifically his body language. Specifically, of course, the voice acting as well. Which really made him feel like a doting father who just loves his daughter and wants the best for her. And it made me fall in love with the character. You know, he is actually takes leadership very seriously. But he really is more like a big brother to people than he really is like this overbearing, constantly yelling, typical black man character, you know? And like there's little things, like little details about him that I really liked. I really liked, like, at the early points of the game, anytime he would walk past Cloud, he didn't have to shove him, he just did it to do it. And then as time goes on and he starts to learn more about Cloud as a person, you'll notice that he stops doing that. And he stops, like, trying to ego check Cloud. He starts to see him more as a peer than as just a merc. You know, he starts to see that Cloud's a person. And he learns about people. One of my favorite bits, because it's so typical doting father, is there's a point, you know, if you play the original Final Fantasy, you're going to know this, where Marlene gets kidnapped. That's his daughter. He barges into Aerith's mom's house and just starts yelling about where she is. And then he stops when Cloud calls him out. It's like, dude, like, and then he stops and he realizes, like, oh God, what have I just done? And his face, and this is the great thing about modern video games, his facial expression changes completely. And he realizes, oh my God, I just stormed into this woman's house. I am a giant black man with a gun arm, and I just scared this woman halfway to death. And he just immediately, the way he starts describing his daughter is adorable. And you kind of start to realize that they gave the character something that I felt like he really needed in the original, in this remake, and that was a heart. And then Aerith, they gave her a personality. Because she was all heart in the original, but no personality. In this one, she's a smartass. And she's adorable. In that sense, but that's also what made her very tolerable as a character. And like, she's not really kind of like your blanket love interest now. She is there to basically teach Cloud how to be human again, which from what you know about Cloud and what people who played the original game will know about Cloud, it's not easy to do. Because a lot of the shit that Cloud had to go through. You know, she helps bring him back down to earth a lot more than you'd realize. And she's able to crack his shell in ways that Tifa isn't able to. Tifa, of course, is always awesome. She's probably my favorite character in Final Fantasy in general. Cloud is Cloud. You know, he's exactly what you expect him to be. Red 13 is not in it for a lot because this game only takes place in Midgar. But when he's in it, he's still cool because it's Red 13. How can you not love him? So, as such, I'm excited for the next game. It's looking like they're probably going to announce the next installment if not by the end of this year, by next year. It'll probably come out in 2023, I bet. But I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to Vincent Valentine. Apparently, the expansion pack that they did with Yuffie is really good. So if I end up looking forward to seeing more Yuffie, then you really know that they've outdone themselves with this particular game. So my opinion from last year basically has not changed. This game definitely gets a recommendation from me. If you have a PlayStation 4, there's no reason you shouldn't own it. So unless you're just not into RPGs. Okay. Sorry, chat, had to minimize you. Let me just say this. Pointless cynicism is still pointless. And I don't like it. So. Alright. So let's get talking about Chris Avellone. So for those who do not know, Chris Avellone is my favorite video game writer of all time. I'm of the opinion he's the best ever. He is very, very, very good at what he does. He wrote Fallout 2. He wrote Fallout New Vegas. He wrote Knights of the Old Republic 2, which is the best Star Wars anything since Return of the Jedi. He wrote Planescape Torment, which in my opinion is the greatest Western RPG ever created. He is an incredible, incredible writer. And last year he got canceled. Some people came out that basically accused him of sexual impropriety, as they often do. He got Vic Mignona'd, basically.
Yep.
And he lost writing gigs and his position as director of creative at Techland, which was probably the biggest job that he had had since he left Obsidian. Because he was the lead writer of Obsidian at one point. He's phenomenal. Phenomenal talent. I've had interactions with him. He's never been anything but nice to me. Despite political disagreements. He's a lefty. I have zero bad words to say about him. I've followed him on Twitter for years. I've had exchanges with him, even disagreements. Anytime that I've given him civility, he's given it right back to me. He's a good dude, from what I have noticed. And, but when these accusations came, they were pretty nasty. And now he is fighting back after 1 year. And this is something that somebody asked me about. Generally speaking, among those circles, you will get pressured not to speak out. You'll get pressured to let people talk. Because they deserve their voice. Well, no they don't. Everybody has the right to free speech, but so do you. You have the right to react. You don't owe them a platform. You don't owe them a conversation. You don't. Nobody does. Nobody owes anybody that. That's actually something that actually frustrated me about some people when they got mad at me. It's like, I want to talk to you. I don't owe you a conversation. We're not going to talk. You know? It's the same thing here. Like, you want me destroyed. Why would I want to talk to you? So, on top of that, he's filing a libel suit against his accusers. Um, the claims are that, like, one person he met once and had a little fling with, and then the other person that accused him he's never actually met. And now he's suing them, basically. He said, and here's what he had to say about it. He said, the next bit might surprise you. I didn't fight any of this. You can't. Cancel culture being what it is, the companies can't fight it either. Or else they are attacked too. Companies can't even ask for time to look into it, without coming across as not believing the accusations, as unfounded as they are. Because even the hint of delay, or wanting to find out more, will be judged, and will get them canceled too. And no one wants to get canceled, even if it means turning your back on someone else getting canceled, even someone you've worked with in the trenches for years. That's fucked up. That is incredibly fucked up. Because if he didn't do it, he didn't do it. Period, point blank. You know? And when it comes right down to it, the fact that he didn't fight at the time, I think was a mistake. Because now you've got a year of your reputation being tarnished, and the fact of the matter is that silence comes across as guilt, which in my opinion is why the political left and cancel culture lovers tell people to be quiet and let other people speak. Is because they want you to look guilty. Because the woman must be right. Fuck that. Women can lie too. No offense, ladies, but you can lie too. I would know that women can lie. Raised around women. I mean, fuck, one of my younger sisters used to blame me for stuff that I wasn't guilty of, and because it was me being accused, my mom would just believe it. I still give my mom crap for that, by the way. So, another thing he also did was he called out the press, too. He said other parts of these stories weren't parroted by others, that were parroted by others are easy to prove false with a little research, even if a little research had been done, he writes. None of the press did any research I'm aware of, even for the easiest confirmations. For example, a woman, Christy Dina, claimed that we shared a night together in 2013 when I wasn't even in the same continent. Once again, game journalists being called out by a developer. Some people don't know this. This is something I've known for a long time, because I was a games journalist at one point. The game developers don't like game journalists. Not really. Not a lot of love there. Because game journalists tend to lie a lot about these sorts of things. And they tend to be very pretentious, and they tend to make accusations without any evidence. There's a reason that Jim Sterling was blacklisted by a lot of game companies. It had nothing to do with his opinions. It had everything to do with him being a cunt. And I knew that because I was one of the few people that was a game journalist that actually had good relations with some companies. I actually talked to somebody who from Capcom, was at Capcom at the time, who talked to me about like game journalists that they didn't like. One person they hinted at was Sterling, because he would just say shit about people that he just didn't agree with, and he like called them child molesters and stuff. They'd be like, "We don't want that accusation laid at our feet. That's bullshit," you know. So and post Gamergate, developers like them even less now, because they still do the same shit. Mm-hmm. The difference is now they're not just doing it because they're spoiled. Now they're doing it because it's politics. Chaos Sonic throws in a buck and says to those that are getting mad at those who fight back, well, don't cry when you get sued. Exactly. The fact of the matter is that this is something that that needs to be confronted. One thing that he also said here, the games press don't need to check the facts. All they need to do is report that someone said something or fall back on the word alleged and it's a story. And so they did, and the clicks started rolling in. And he said, as soon as the press reports something like this, however, it carries the same validation as if something was researched and fact-checked, and no press publication, to my knowledge, did. And that's something that is to be considered. If he wins his lawsuit, he can go to the press and sue them too. I would say do it. Because if Vic Mignogna wins on appeal, which I'm still hoping he does, he can do the same thing to Anime News Network, and he's even said that he plans on doing it. So when it comes right down to it, there needs to be people that, are willing to defend themselves. One thing that I found interesting that Avellone brought up in his blog post, he brought up the Virginia rape accusations, the Virginia Tech scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best point he could have made. In all honesty, because that was a lie, and the press reported it as truth. And then there's Mattress Girl. People still act like what she said was true, even though it's been proven false.
Yep. Duke Lacrosse. Jesus Christ, that one was.
Yeah. And that at the end of the day, that's the only way that again, cancel culture is going to lose. Is there has to be some pushback. Somebody has to say fuck this and fuck you. And thankfully he is. And I'm hoping that he wins the lawsuit, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to recover from this. He might not be able to work in video games ever again unless he starts his own studio.
Oh, Christ. I don't even know if they'll let him start his own fucking studio. They probably sandbag whatever project comes out of there.
Well, I'll support him. And I think fans will support him. The big thing is just getting behind the guy.
I'm getting really tired of the gaming press effectively becoming the gatekeepers of video games now.
So take the gates away.
They have thrust this role onto themselves, and now there's too much influence. They got too much fucking influence.
The gates can still be stormed. I'm of the opinion that if we give it another 5 or 10 years, the YouTubers that cover video games nowadays are going to have much more credibility to the point where game journalists are basically going to become completely and totally irrelevant.
I fucking hope so.
Alright. Hatman, the fuck is going on with TSR?
Holy fuck. So, how much do you know about the history of D&D? So, TSR is the name of the company that created D&D. And they more or less went defunct about a decade ago because the trademark lapsed. Nobody renewed it. And D&D was sold to Wizards of the Coast anyway, which now maintains it and has, in my opinion, fucked it up. So you've got the original TSR, which no longer exists. You've got the TSR that was sort of reborn in 2011 because somebody renewed the fucking trademark. And then you've got now a new TSR that was founded last year because the TSR of 2011 fucked up and missed renewal of the trademark. And so this TSR is run by Gary Gygax's son, Ernie Gygax. I'm sure you know who Gary Gygax is, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who don't know, he's the guy who created, or co-created at least, Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, so that's the backstory of all this. And yes, it's a necessary backstory. So, Ernie Gygax was on a podcast recently talking about how D&D and tabletop gaming has evolved over the years. And he made a comment that naturally people got really upset and offended about. Basically saying that older tabletop players and the people who don't like the direction that Wizards of the Coast has taken D&D in are being shunned and whatnot for being old fashioned and because they don't fall into modern trends. They don't like enforcement of diversity and whatnot. Things that in most contexts would be kind of, non-offensive at all, rather. And then in come the woke scolds who believe, oh, he has disparaged trans people. He has done all this, and by extension, his company is now guilty for it. And of course, they started this shit on Twitter, as teenagers usually do. So TSR did not have the best response, admittedly, to this. When confronted with the whole bunch of trolls and whatnot, they were calling them out as, okay, well, you're trolling, you're trolling, you're trolling. And eventually, whoever's running that account got rather pissed off and straight up called someone disgusting for demanding that they say that trans women are women. And of course, that means, oh, they said trans people are disgusting, which means drama escalates. And now fucking everything has gone absolutely insane to the point where you have people who were involved with old TSR now denouncing the new TSR. You've got Gen Con, which was started by Gary Gygax, banning TSR and Gygax's own son from attending ever again. You've got a whole bunch of other names in tabletop denouncing this and now saying they're going to, invoke their own gatekeeping to keep out bigots and the old school Neanderthal tabletop gamers. It's fucking ridiculous, and what the fuck else is new? All this over criticizing how Wizards of the Coast is handling Dungeons and Dragons. Jesus fucking Christ.
It sounds to me like somebody took the bait.
It sounds like somebody lost their fucking temper on Twitter and turned a fucking brush fire into a fucking inferno. Chris Jones says gatekeep the gatekeepers. It's hilarious how now people are saying we need to start gatekeeping tabletop. We have pushed our way in. We have demanded changes according to our needs. We have told people who don't want to be here to make their own games, and now we're saying that they're no longer allowed in tabletop, period. It kind of sounds like cultural appropriation to me to take one of their terms. Oh, it is a massive clusterfuck, and this is representative of where nerd culture is at now, because a lot of it has gone mainstream. It means that there are people who want it to turn back into the niche that it was, but a niche that is very specifically politically slanted. Whereas before, yeah, it was niche, but everyone was welcome. Now it's a niche, and you have to pass a litmus test in order to even sit at the table.
So,
Christ.
I'm going to be frank about something instead of being Micah. But the thing about the nerd hobby in this general at this point, and this will be the last thing I say on this topic before we move on, is there's no real reason to give these people what they want. And the other thing is, don't take the bait. If somebody is coming up to you and like saying you have to say that trans women are women, what I'll say is like, go buy me a beer first. Now, Micah, why would you say that? Because they won't. Go buy me a soda, and maybe I'll think about it.
What if they bring back a PBR?
I'm gonna throw it in their face, because that's
good.
That's not beer.
Good answer.
Good answer. That is hipster flavored water.
It's beer. It's beer for people who are too good for a domestic, but too cheap for craft beer.
Yeah. Just ugh.
Bullshit. Anyway, go on.
But ultimately, it's like you don't owe those people anything. When it comes to this sort of stuff, you don't owe them that. You know, I make a game. Yeah, but what's your opinion on this? My opinion is I make a game. You know, it's the same thing with like comic books with me. You like, I have a politics show, so I talk about this sort of thing. But ultimately, like, if you really want, like, so my opinions are out there. But let's say I didn't. What my approach would be the same as if I was like at a convention. It's like, what's your opinions on this? My opinion is, please buy my comic. What do you think about transgenderism? Please buy my comic. Is transgenderism in it? No, but it's a comic book, and that's why I want you to buy, because it's all this exchange is. It seemed if like I owned a pizza store, you know, like, please buy my pizza. The pizza's good. Buy it. Sell the hot dogs. Don't buy into this shit. It's not worth it.
Hot dogs and hamburgers.
Final topic of the day. So this image looks like the woke white woman version of Charlottesville. You know I'm right. I killed the Hatman.
Dwarves will not replace us.
I guess not.
Oh, man.
Where to
So
begin
this
with
shit.
this? So apparently the woke white women waited until Tolkien's last living relative died so they could take it over or something.
Well, his son, Christopher Tolkien. Yeah, pretty much like after his passing, now the Tolkien Society has turned into
the Woking Society.
Yeah, pretty much. Their summer seminar, which takes place next weekend. Oh God. Oh God.
I saw the lineup.
It's all about.
It's like, it's not about like Tolkien. It's about like shitting on him.
It's basically trying to co-opt his work while shitting on the man. It's ridiculous. The whole theme is Tolkien and diversity. So there you go. There's your sign to stay the fuck out. But we've got submissions like the problem of pain. Okay, you know that sounds like it's gonna be portraying physical disability in the fantasy of J.R.R. Tolkien.
What?
Okay. Gondor in transition. A brief introduction to transgender realities in The Lord of the Rings.
There aren't any.
Pardoning Saruman? the queer in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings.
What?
Saruman. Are you fucking kidding me? Something mighty queer, destabilizing cis hetero
Did someone order
I
a
have
word
never
salad?
encountered this word before. Amatonormativity? I've never encountered that word before. This is advanced word salad. This is advanced word salad.
Does it come with chicken and ranch dressing?
God, if it doesn't have some kind of fucking meat in it, I don't want that fucking thing anywhere near me.
It's probably like Impossible Burger meat.
Oh, Christ. Either that or rotten salmon.
Like, somebody told me that they recently tried the Impossible Burger, and they're like, it tastes just like an onion. I'm like, then I'm not eating it.
Impossible Burger kind of tastes like dirt to me.
Yeah.
Like, I ate one in like a normal hamburger side by side, and yet the Impossible Burger tastes kind of dirty. Ugh. Stars Less Strange, an analysis of fan fiction and representation within the Tolkien fan community. Fucking
no.
Isn't that just what this kind of academia is? Just glorified fan fiction?
Yeah, this is like if fanfiction.net was a conference.
Just
So let me just say this before we close out on this topic, because I think we've actually said enough very quickly. Here's the thing. If you don't think that your favorite fantasy has enough of the thing that you wanted it, make your fucking own! I did! And it's pretty fucking good! I have donations.
Just let us fucking enjoy things, man. Just let us fucking enjoy things.
Alright. Make Sims Great Again. Donated $1 and said, funny enough, it looks like Wizards of the Coast is going to be sold. It seems like Hasbro is going to clean house on them because of how toxic they are. I don't think they're going to clean house. No,
they're not. Wizards of the Coast is making a fuck ton of money for Magic. It was like the most profitable year ever last year. Yeah. Hasbro would be retarded to fucking sell them.
Get woke, go broke is like not a thing.
It doesn't always work.
It doesn't. Like it does not have a 100% success rate.
No, I wish, but
sorry guys. It's just not there. Let's see here. Ricky Joy threw in $3. He said, I left a coworker a copy of Englewood issue 1 and he loved it. Thank you, dude. I'm glad they enjoyed it. Servant throws in $1 and says, I see that from the pic the woke are now fully pro-Mordor, given that they are doing something that looks like it's set there. Yeah. Servant throws in another bucket, says, so when Serena throws in $1, said, tempted to give you guys a lot of money to attend this seminar. If I wasn't broke at the moment, I might be our next little project in the Discord, and mwahaha.
You can watch the presentations of these papers on YouTube.
Yeah, it's in
they're uploading everything to YouTube.
Yeah, it's not in the US.
Yeah, well, it's over Zoom. They're doing the whole thing over Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but you can't pay me for that. I don't want to come away with brain damage.
Brain damage.
I like my brain.
Let's see here. 420 Gunny throws in $5. Says Tolkien is rolling in his fucking grave. Nothing is sacred anymore. All this woke remake shit can burn in hell. I agree with that. Dark Bobcat throws in a bucket says, I feel like I'm getting less tolerant over time just because of idiots like this. You have to remember that most LGBT people don't go for this type of idiocy. Yeah. And
Thank God.
Changus threw in $5, didn't have a message. Probably just wanted us to get to the cringe stuff. So we actually
Yeah.
owe from last week, too.
Go. Yes, we do.
So, but let's go ahead and start with the Q&A from the Discord server. Talon wants to know, with most of how IPs are going, Middle-earth, Star Wars, D&D, even Warhammer, the few folks wanted to change to be politically correct. Many say go create a new IP. The question is, how big work is one meant to even start something like that? You get a bunch of like-minded people together who all have talents, and you make something. It's basically.
And I hope to God that you don't get banned from conventions or from promoting it for whatever the fuck reason.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. Again, it's right here. I kind of make my own things now, and they're pretty nice. At least I think so. And I'm having success, and I'm going to likely be having more success in the future. So I just got to keep working hard. Let's see here. Rise Khan says, since July 4th is coming, I'm going to my local library on Tuesday to browse the comic back issues for patriotic stories that I can read that you'd suggest. I would say if you can find, comic book wise, my recommendation is look for Brubaker's Captain America. That's the shit. Hatman, what about you?
Yes, I'll go with a specific arc, Captain America No More, which they sort of adapted recently with Falcon and Winter Soldier and U.S. Agent. But Captain America No More is something that you wouldn't think is really patriotic at first because, it's Cap giving up the shield. But it turns into something super fucking patriotic.
The last one threw in $5, and he says, I hate how clever the Problem of Pain is as a reference. Too bad it's for nothing. No kidding. Yeah. Problem of Pain is one of my favorite books ever.
Yep.
Okay, my copy right over here. I read it once a year. I don't read a lot of books, but that's one that I read every year. It's about time that I read it again. Let's see here. Holy Ninja just says, favorite patriotic film?
Not The Patriot. I know that's like an answer a lot of people give, but
that's a good answer.
I find it really, really cheesy. I think it's just really cheesy. It's like, it almost reminds me of fucking Independence Day in 1776, if that makes any sense.
Welcome to Earth.
That's a hard one. That's a really hard one. I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to say, because it's not a film, it's a series, but I'm going to say the John Adams miniseries from HBO. That was really fucking excellent, and I think everybody should watch that. If you value the same values that our country was founded upon, you will get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
I'm gonna throw a curveball. Zero Dark 30.
Interesting.
There's a reason why. I'm of the opinion that the most misunderstood conflict that has ever happened in United States history is actually the War on Terror. Zero Dark 30 does an amazing job of actually portraying what it was like. I have friends who fought in that war, and they have confirmed a lot of things there. So I have friends who served in the Navy SEALs. I have friends who served in the Marines, in the Army. I have friends who were in Delta, that I went to high school with. So I can confirm it's very accurate. So that's my pick. Because that war took a toll on people that was pretty tough. I have some friends that fought in that war that are just now recovering from it. Because there's a mentality to it there was a place we had to go to as a country that's very dark. But if we didn't do it, we would have never won. It sucks. But it's what it is. There's also elements of that in The Punisher, the most recent one, with that version of Frank Castle that I really liked. So, Derek Mozzarella says favorite horror subgenre. I'm about to go with science fiction horror. Would probably be my favorite. The Alien, The Thing, two of my favorite movies ever. Event Horizon is another really good one. Oh God, what? There are elements of sci-fi horror in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, the first act.
Terminator,
the original. The first Terminator is a slasher movie. Changed my mind.
It is, absolutely. So is Alien. Alien's a slasher too.
Yep. I would argue Prince of Darkness is a sci-fi horror as much as it is a supernatural. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I have a message for you, and you're not going to like it. So, what about you, Hatman?
I'm going to go a little bit more specific and say body horror.
I like that pick too.
So
big Cronenberg fan.
Yeah. Yes, I fucking love Cronenberg. The Fly is one of the greatest horror movies of all time, if not the greatest.
Definitely Jeff Goldblum's best performance.
Oh, for God's sake, yes, absolutely.
I love the insect politics monologue.
Yes.
Really.
Yes. No, fucking Videodrome also. The Blob I would sort of count as body horror in a weird fucking way. Yeah, you can throw The Thing into that category as well. Fucking, it's good shit.
Oh yeah. Real quick.
Scanners. Fuck, I forgot Scanners.
Oh, Scanners is great. 420 Getting Through us in a buck and says, just watched Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1. It's pretty good, faithful to the comic. Just kind of a Batman comic version of The Silence of the Lambs with Bats as Clarice and Calendar Man as Hannibal Lecter. Is 3 nights shipping in the process. Hatman's got a bunch right behind him.
Yep.
So we're going to get a bunch more out this week. Usually fulfillment can take up to a month.
Bunch of fucking comics.
But they are there. That is
they're here.
That is how I have my copies. Just so you guys know.
Yeah.
A lot of people have.
It's taking a little bit longer because. Sorry. It's taking a little bit longer because we're adding in the trading cards and stuff. So instead of, throwing everything together at once and all these packages and then figuring out what goes where later on, we basically have to pack them, or it's me at this point, pack them individually.
Yep.
So it's quite literally going up the list and seeing who gets what, pack their order, throw the label on there, and ship out. Some of them I've been able to just mass pack, and that's basically done. So the easy stuff is over with, unfortunately.
Let's see here.
Nope.
Diva Night Rose wants to know, what would be your policy of keeping yaoi fangirls in check, especially if they try to lure you straight characters from Three Nights in Englewood? Asking as I would how to keep them out of my own future fandom should I ever get illustrated novels off the ground. Well, you can't stop people from drawing a picture.
No, you can't.
My thing with my characters is that I'm very, very, very open about what their gender, sexuality, so on and so forth is. If people want to rule 63 them and turn them into the opposite gender, I don't care. You start putting everybody fucking each other, I'm just going to say, okay, you can have your fantasies, but let's not try to pressure me to make them canonical as the creator. That's where I get the whole thing. If you try to force me to ship characters, I know about the lag, guys. Jesus Christ. Stop it. Good Lord. Alright, I'm minimizing the chat again. Fucking shit. So yeah, it's just as a creator of just about being strict about my own stuff.
Yeah, you can't stop people. I mean, and it'd be engaging in censorship if you did, which obviously you guys know how I feel about that. At the same time, though, like if they start making demands of you as a creator, yeah, you have every right to tell them to fuck off. But if they're just going to, go off and ship whatever characters they have and fucking draw them in lewd situations, the best thing you could possibly do is just not even draw attention to it.
Yeah.
Just don't. Don't even give them the satisfaction.
Yeah. Hardboiled wants to know if we thought about doing a tabletop of our own comic universe. Probably not.
No.
Probably not gonna happen.
No, I can't do tabletop anymore. I cannot. I don't have the patience.
Yeah. Servant asks, started running his first draft. What need to treat it like a job in terms of scheduling. Any advice on how to do that? Yeah, write for an hour every day. That's basically it.
Or if you can't write for an hour every day, just write something every day. Even if it's like an outline or something, just put words on paper or words on screen. Just do something with it.
Yeah.
But you got to do it every day. Make it a habit. They say 11 days, I think, is what it takes before something you do every day becomes a habit in your brain. So just try that. Just try doing it every day for 11 days and see where it gets you.
Yeah. Servant, okay, I already read that one. Melee Brawler says, remember when Twilight got big, the cast went to San Diego, a bunch of white women showed up out of nowhere, flooded the convention, so why Comic-Cons became as packed as they were. Once Twilight ended, a lot of these women had nothing to do. I believe they infiltrated various communities to make them more like Twilight, hence all the shipping on romance, etc. Do you think there's any merit to this, or sounded like too much tinfoil hat? I think that there might be something to that. I also think that Tumblr was a big problem, too.
I think it's a little more tinfoil hat. You're in the right direction, but for the wrong reasons. It's when shit like Comic-Con became more open as far as like nerdy things becoming mainstream, and when they started adding shit that wasn't related to like sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, all that shit. And yeah, Twilight was a big part of that. But yeah, when it started to become mainstream, when your average movie fan, like normie movie fan, knew what SDCC meant, that's when shit started to happen. And yes, naturally from that you are going to bring in your shippers and your cancer merchants, to borrow a line from Clerks, and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the reason, it was a symptom.
Okay, Personified Persona asks, weird question, have either of us seen or heard of the anime Food Wars? Heard of it, never gonna watch it.
Yes. I love it. I love Food Wars. It's fucking awesome.
You would.
Dude, it's a fucking cooking anime. Why the hell wouldn't I like that?
I heard it's lewd as fuck.
Oh yeah, it's fucking lewd and shit, but very minor. Like everything else is fucking all about food and cooking and shit. Like the whole like food orgasm things, it's like a couple of seconds every fucking episode. That's it. I'll take that little bit of fan service if the rest of it is fucking awesome. And it is. I really enjoy Food Wars. I don't know if any of the recipes actually work though. I haven't tried to replicate them.
Chat made me mad, so Hatman, you're gonna have to read questions from chat for the next 2 minutes.
Okay. Nick White asks, after seeing what Halo showed at E3 this year and from reading the stuff that 343 released on Waypoint, do you think Halo Infinite is looking better than it did last year?
No.
No. About the same for me. I watched a video recently that showcased like the graphical differences between the 2020 build and now. And it didn't do a whole lot for me except showing me that, okay, they updated the textures. Okay. I still think that it's probably going to be a failure. I still think it's going to be bullshit just because it's taken too long and all the rumors say that it's a mess behind the scenes. Leonardo One asks a question for me. Thoughts on a crossover between Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog? Makes sense. It actually makes more sense than most other crossovers, so why the hell not?
I only have 3 words about that. Return the slab.
Or suffer my curse. John Weitzel asks, is protecting a franchise from becoming woke considered gatekeeping, or is that the wrong word to use in this context? I would say technically, yes, it's gatekeeping, but it's gatekeeping for the right reasons. You don't, it's like, think of it like protecting a small business from a corporate takeover. You don't want your values to be swept to the side so someone else can move in and make money and push you out and take from you what you have built up and loved and put all that time and effort. That's keeping that sort of shit out is gatekeeping, but for the right reasons. Gatekeeping for the wrong reasons is literally just, we don't want, the obvious racism. We don't want black people playing this game. We don't want women playing this game. That's gatekeeping for the wrong fucking reasons. If you say we don't want people playing this game because they're not out to enjoy it, they're out to take enjoyment away from other people, then yes, that's good gatekeeping.
There you go.
Eclectic asks, watched the first Rocky movie over the weekend. Would like to know what you think about it. It's a classic.
Yeah, you want patriotic films, Rocky 4.
Hell yeah.
It's my second favorite Rocky movie. Rocky 2 and Rocky 4 are my favorites.
Rocky 4, yeah, I agree. I think Rocky 2 is better than the first one. And you almost have to watch 1 and 2 back to back.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard not to do that.
Just so you guys know, Sylvester Stallone was nominated for an Oscar for the first Rocky. So people don't know this.
That was the first movie he starred in.
Sly Stallone is an Oscar-nominated actor. That's why I hate it when people say he can't act. Fuck you. He's Oscar-nominated.
Didn't he get nominated for Creed also?
I don't remember. Should have been.
I think he did. I want to say he did get the nomination for it.
So let me do a thing here because we need to get to the cringe.
Yeah, nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Creed. So yeah. God, how much cringe are we doing?
We're gonna have
I don't remember how much we had last
We
week.
have 3 clips to do, I think.
Okay.
Though people can add a fourth because 2 more donations just came in.
Rocky IV ended the Cold War, changed my mind. You know, you might be onto something there.
I ain't gonna argue. So let me get my capture card working real quick. Ricky Joyce says in chat he holds the world record for longest time between Oscar nominations. Shit.
Damn. Yeah, almost 40 years.
It's crazy.
Hmm. When is the third Creed movie supposed to come out?
I don't know.
Next year. Okay. Next year, and apparently Michael B. Jordan is going to be directing it too. Interesting.
What the frick? For some reason my capture card's not wanting to work. There we go.
Why are you waiting for that? Oh,
Nope,
never
nope,
mind.
no more waiting. I got it.
Good timing.
Now let me just make sure that the audio's coming through. Nope. Let's try this.
I'm the only thing standing between the...
Okay, now it's coming through. Okay. So, we've got a few different ones. We've got Batman becomes a Discord mod. We have... I don't know. We have Jontron reacts to Diabolic Lovers. I don't even know what that is. Oh, the other one was Corone, swearing in English. We'll save that one for last, because that one will probably make me laugh.
We do like Doggo Chan.
We do. I think 4 is what we owe because we owe 2 from last week, 2 for this week. So
I'm not seeing the Batman one.
I have not, but I've heard. I'm kind of dreading this one. So keep in mind any clip that goes that goes beyond a minute and 30 seconds. It's not in the server. You just have to look it up. Batman becomes a Discord mod is the exact words. It should be the first thing that shows up.
Okay.
Okay, somebody put Arturo Trevino in timeout, please. I'm getting sick and tired of his shit. There are 2 donations I missed in the meantime. Brainbox threw in $10, said, mentioning and spamming about lag in chat does fucking dick. Micah's tired of seeing it, so am I. Please don't push me. Yeah. Lightning Jack is a funny western I think you guys might like, starring Paul Hogan and Cuba Gooding Jr. Here's the trailer. It's really old from the early 90s. I've heard about it, so I'll have a look at it at some point. Yeah, guys, if you keep spamming about the fucking lag, we're just gonna start timing you out. It's getting to the point where it's like, we know.
Yeah.
And we know, and you're just being assholes at that point. Don't do that. We do this. We take donations, yeah, but this show is basically free. Right? Like we're going out of our way. Hatman, like the original plan, like was not to do this show this week. You know? Like it's like don't be a cunt, or we're just gonna time you out until you learn to behave.
Yeah. And we can't fix the lag.
Yeah.
Posting about lag is not going to do anything for us because we can't do anything about it.
Yeah. In fact, let me show you guys something before we do this. I'm gonna give you a little inside baseball for those of you. So there is a point on OBS at the very bottom of my screen that says dropped frames, live, recording, CPU percentage, which is how much CPU my computer is using, the frames per second that it's outputting, and then the kilobytes per second that it's outputting. So right now, the dropping frames counter is not going up, meaning that what that tells me is if there is lag, it is on YouTube's end. That has been the case a lot lately. There have been dropped like it's been YouTube completely. So that is part of the reason we've got to consider migrating, is because this happens with YouTube. This doesn't happen with Twitch. So if you keep spamming about lag, again, I'm just gonna have a mod time you out. I'm not putting up with your bullshit. You know. And if you do it too much and you do it just to be a dick, Brain is just gonna kick you out. He's the doorman, and he has my express permission to show you the door. So, and
we're not trying to be assholes about it, but just come on, like it honestly just gets aggravating to see repeatedly. Yeah, yes, we know it's there. We would fix it if possible. So it doesn't do anything to remind us of what we can't help.
Yeah, Modanui in the chat put it perfectly. I'm not sure what spamming is going to do for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Batman as a Discord mod. Are you ready, Hatman?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. I'm the only thing standing between this city and chaos. Guys, please.
Oh God, chaos. I'm having flashbacks.
I'm going to have to start banning.
Hello, Mr. Wayne. You want to help me measure my hog with this monster can?
Robin, don't call me that. I'm on Discord.
Oh, you want me to use your full name, Bruce Wayne? Kind of a mouthful, but I'm used to those.
Bruh, what's Bruce Wayne doing at Batman's house? Shut it. Robin, in case you can't see, I'm very busy moderating Discord.
You're always on Discord, and all you do is ban people and slide into feminine men's DMs and beg them to fight crime with you.
In case you forgot, we're under quarantine now. I'm working from home.
But what about crime.
There's online crime. This guy just posted a meme making fun of Discord mods. Do you really think I can let that stand?
Is there anyone even left in your server?
They were all degenerates.
Holy improbability, Batman. Someone joined your server.
Joker, I thought I banned you.
Batman, I have 47 alternative accounts.
What do you want, Joker?
All right, pausing real quick. Pausing. I have 47 alternative accounts. Why is it that it seems to me like every person that I know that does that thinks they're the Joker? But a lot more cringe. Hatman knows what I'm talking about.
I have 47 accounts and I'm hiding behind 7 proxies.
Yeah. All right, hitting the button. 3, 2, 1, go.
Cut to the chase. You see, my father was a gamer, so naturally he was violent.
Joker, get to the point.
All right, Batman, if you don't give me 1 month of Discord Nitro, I'm gonna say the N-word.
Joker, you've gone too far this time.
Didn't he blow up a hospital last week?
I know, he's getting worse.
What'll it be, Batman?
Joker, I can't afford Nitro.
What? I thought you were rich. Where's my 50 bucks?
I made some bad crypto investments. That dog was just so funny. I actually had to move in with Robin number 7.
What happened to the other Robins?
They died.
Oh, so you've got a new sidekick, Batman. All right, I'm changing the deal. I won't say the gamer word if you send me a picture of a Robin's thighs.
All right,
No,
no,
Batman,
no,
those
no,
pics are-
no, 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 no. Niet. 9. No. Anyway. Next clip. JonTron reacts to Diabolic Lovers episode 4.
Okay.
3,
Tell
2,
me when.
1. Let's do it.
Are you stupid little bitch, or are you just naive?
Oh, Larry, you're a fucking asshole.
I suspect you might be both. I wouldn't be surprised. Whatever the case, you're clearly simple-minded. But I find your innocence appealing, little bitch.
I don't like where this is going.
Please instruct me. Would you like me to start from the top? Or shall I start from the bottom?
You can't do this in a church. It's sacrilegious.
Oh, are you angry with me? Your eyes are fascinating when you're angry.
FBI should be knocking on this door any minute now. Oh, no. Please, Larry, you don't understand. You don't know what you're doing here.
Okay, that's a little bit much. Stop. I have to stop at that point just because right before JonTron says stop, because I'll probably get banned. Fuck. So, people get mad at me for watching lots of giant robots. Let me just remind you that that's the alternative! Stop shaming me! Just know.
Was that woke Castlevania?
I don't know, dude, but no. No! No! No!
Whatever it is, somebody needs to bring the fucking vampire killer in that bitch.
Yeah, no kidding. 420 getting through us in $3 and says, hey, I'm turning 35 on Tuesday. Welcome to the club. Don't know what to spend my Amazon gift money on. Fair enough. Okay. Next one is we have anime at home.
Hold on, I gotta pull that one up.
Yeah. Again, because it's a 4-minute clip, I reserve the right to stop it halfway. Because these are supposed to be brief.
Okay, got it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, your ace is Tanaka, right?
And just who might you be?
I'm the guy who's gonna beat the pants off you.
Thank goodness they got him out in time.
I could get to like it here. Hey, take it easy, huh?
Huh, it's not my fault. You were daydreaming, you know.
They should keep her in a cage. Wow, you really know your way around.
When it comes to
Damn, man!
I bait a kappa.
Oh boy, went there fast.
I told you, stay away from that junkyard. Want to learn about engines, huh? How about it? Good morning.
Good morning. Could you sleep well?
Like a rock. Say, where's the car?
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hiya.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. I've had it with driving. Early retirement.
Then why in the world did you come here?
I was asking myself that all last night. It's no use. I can't compete with these people. I can't. I just can't. Oh gosh, I can't. Wonder who put him up to dragging me out of that hospital. Oh, gee, this is terrific.
Look at
I did it. It's all my fault.
Idiot!
Those other bozos don't.
What do you call me a bozo? Park it in the simulator.
What? Seatbelts in a simulator? This could be rough. Ah!
Why didn't you throw it into a spin turn?
Spin turn?
Handbrake turn is an advanced maneuver that dramatically swings a speeding car in an entirely different direction.
Ah!
Watch out!
Ah!
Spin turn!
Is he racing on Chaco Mountain?
I don't know, but just the
That was fantastic,
spin
Parmesan.
turn.
Whoa, I thought we'd really had it for sure.
I can't tell if this is shitty Speed Racer or shitty Initial
Don't ever
D.
Give me another car now. I blew it.
All right, I'm done. I get the point. Like, what the fuck? What the man? Early dubs were fucking awful. There's Bobcat throws in a bucket and says, "Motion to ban that stop motion channel from cringe consideration. You always stop halfway through any." Well, the point is to make me cringe, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the point.
so I don't think that the people who do bring it up are actually like mad at me for it. Like, I can't something because I just can't make it all the way through. But then again, that's kind of how it's supposed to go, right?
You pay us to feel pain.
Yeah. All right. So now we finish with something that always warms our hearts. Doggo-chan.
Yes, we like Doggo-chan.
Yes. VTubers taking over YouTube and bringing people's spirits up is the best thing to happen to this platform in a long fucking time. Seriously. I don't watch a lot of it, but I respect it. And I respect that it's streamers that make people's days better. So, that in my opinion is pretty awesome. So yeah. Karone swearing in English compilation. Are you ready, Hatman?
I'm ready. Let's roll.
3, 2, 1, go.
A fucking pocket knife?
Pocket knife? Fucking pocket knife? Fuck you! No thank you! No thank you! No thank you! God damn it! God damn it! Oh my god!
Got done dealing with your
mom and fucking bugs.
Fucking bugs.
Fuck!
Damn it.
Damn it. Damn it. Fuck. Fuck. What the fuck?
I need to clip that as a reaction clip. Just
Okay.
what the fuck?
No, time to dash! Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh no, dying! Oh no, I have nothing! Fucking item! Please! Oh no! Wait! My item is so pretty! Stop! Shut up! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you, everyone! Congratulations! Thank you, people. Thank you. Get out of here. Get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Get out of here. Atlanta, goodbye, motherfucker.
Oh, good lord.
You will never have an anime dog girl say goodbye, motherfucker, to you in a cute voice. Oh my god.
Well, that was the last of the donations and everything, so thank you everybody for your generosity. It's very much appreciated. So thank you to Darth Bobcat, 420 Gunny, Brainbox, not the last one, Changus, Serena, Servant, Make Simps Great Again, Chaos Sonic as well. If there's anybody I missed, I apologize. I think that was everybody. Yeah, I do apologize for YouTube fucking up, even though it's not my fault. We're going to talk for a bit after the show to see whether or not we really need to consider migration. Today wasn't as bad as it has been in previous weeks, but it's definitely something to consider. I'm thinking that if it is something we do at some point, then it's probably going to be around episode 130, I think, which is a few weeks away. So, yeah. I mean, we've had a long run here on YouTube. I'm just thinking that it's time to start walking away from it, honestly. I think that just like cutting it out of what we're doing piece by piece, because it's just not
Excuse me.
It's not run very well. And I'm not even talking about like just like the leadership. I'm talking about just the way that it's presented, like just to stream halfway decent quality on this platform, you have to have like gigabit internet. That's fucking ridiculous. So I'm gonna get it anyway because I want to start streaming in 1080 over on Twitch. But the fact that I would need it for YouTube is fucking stupid. The only people I know that don't have problems are StreamYard users. But that's because that's like a super low latency platform. You know? So that sucks. So, when it comes to YouTube, before we take off, I just have 2 words. Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Till then, my name is Micah Curtis.
I'm Alex Baldwin. Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.